Welcome to our video training program for young organizers. The series of trainings is put together by members and leaders of NGO ISAC in Estonia with years of event and project management experience. We will base these trainings on our experience of organizing a conference for 70 people, including a gala night for 150 people. The trainings will be published on the YouTube channel of ISAC in Estonia. The first training will be about event management. Enjoy! The first training of our training series will be about event and team management. The other topics in the training series are sales, partnership management, budgeting and grant writing, delegate servicing, and different IT solutions. What is the project manager's role in planning? There are two most important tools in the planning process. First of all, the budget. In one of the other trainings, we will talk more specifically about how to make a good budget and how to use it as a management tool. But in general, the budget is to be used with the project plan and is an important tool for all the members, not just the finance responsible in your team. It measures all the costs and the income, giving you a cost structure and focus points on where you can and should focus more of the team's resources. The project plan, accordingly, is a timeline which includes all of the activities that you need to perform in order to reach your end goal. And we will later talk more about terms like backward planning and also what is a Gantt chart. The second important role of a project manager is managing resources. It is important for the team leader to know exactly what kind of resources you need. First and foremost, the thing that comes to mind is of course money and the finances. The second thing is how many people you need. This is your human resource. What kind of activities are you planning to do? And therefore you need to see what kind of people do you need in your team. So for example, if you are organizing a training of some sort, then for sure you need to have trainers and people who can actually perform publicly in your team or at least associated with the project. You might need other kinds of inventory, like for example, projectors, markers, big flip charts, papers, maybe printers at hand, maybe cameras. So you need to think you need to give it a lot of thought on exactly what you might need and how you will get those things. And of course, the most important thing is the time. It is the team leader's responsibility to make sure that all of the team members are focusing on the important things and that all of the main processes will be done on time. The third main responsibility of a team leader is tracking. First of all, the team leader needs to set tracking channels or tracking tools. This means that you need to have a certain environment where you know that you will regularly exchange information with your team members. This could be weekly meetings where everyone gives an overview of what they are doing. It can be set phone calls or emails. The second thing is making sure that you track according to the plan. The plan gives you certain deadlines that you need to follow in order to achieve your goal. And it is very important to keep in mind that you should meet the deadlines given in the plan. A very good tip for tracking is that project managers should track members before the deadline. So if someone needs to do something by Wednesday, already ask them how they are doing on Monday. Because if you ask them on the same day or the day after, you are already losing time from the plan. So it's easier to ask before the deadline to see if they need any help and if you can make sure that you will meet the deadline. The third important thing is replanning, meaning that if you do go over a deadline, you need to come up with how you are going to still make it on time. So meaning you will need to plan less time for some other activities, or you will have to replan the entire activity. For example, we applied for a fund in August, in the end of August, and in September we found out that we did not get the funding. So in the end of September we were thinking what to do. We needed to replan because we needed the income, but we didn't get the funding. So what we decided to do was to take 3 days, work vigorously, and then apply again. And luckily in October we did receive the funding. So this means that we replanned making our budget, because we were planning on getting the money in September. We didn't. We got it in October, which meant that also our entire budget making process was replanned 1 month. And last thing about tracking is crisis management. So this is very closely together with replanning, but it's very important that the team leader is ready and knows how to manage the situations. Also keep in mind that the team should discuss what exactly to do when something happens. And it's very important to keep everyone in the loop and make sure that everyone knows when things are happening. The team leader is in charge of keeping the focus and the motivation of the team. You should try to make work fun, so try to schedule something fun for every time you have a meeting. Try to do something special with your team right before the event and after the event. Make sure to allow a few jokes during the meetings and make sure you show out appreciation for the team and also give them a chance to appreciate each other. Keeping the focus is very important. Having a common goal is what makes most teams work. So always remind your team of the vision and remind it also to yourself. And make sure that everyone understands in every meeting that whatever they were doing that week and whatever they are doing next week is directly contributing to achieving this vision. The last important role of the team leader is facilitating communication. First of all, you need to make sure that information is moving inside the team. Secondly, you need to keep in mind that you also have external stakeholders, meaning the people who want to attend your event, the people who will be performing at your event, and they all need to have the information. First of all, in order to manage communication, you need to set communication channels. It is very important that everyone in the team agrees exactly to what channels you are using. A lot of groups, especially in university, use Facebook. And they use Facebook groups for quick communication. But there are also some people who don't want to mix their work with their personal lives. So you need to make sure that all the people in the team agree on using either Facebook or emails, phone calls, etc. The second important thing is managing meetings. Every team needs to have them, and it's important to prepare them before. All meetings should have a set agenda and a purpose. And during the meeting, someone needs to make sure that you are writing an output and taking notes. There should be someone keeping an eye on the time, and there should be someone keeping an eye on whether you are staying on topic or not. All meetings also need follow-up and tracking, so if you do reach any decisions, you have to make sure that those decisions are being executed. The team leader is a person that knows where the team is going and is able to get the team on board with their vision. Why is vision important? Vision is something that inspires the team to work harder, and visualized goals are achieved more often. All great visions answer 3 questions. Where are we going? Why do we exist? What principles do we follow? In our team's example, the team leader first asked all the people in the team individually what is important to them to achieve and what they expect from the conference, the team, and the team leader. Based on their input, the team leader consolidated the opinions and tried to answer all of these questions. Here are all of the team members' opinions. The team leader presented these results to the team, and common ground was found in a form of 2 vision statements. The first vision statement was directed towards the organization. So we came up with 2 sentences of a vision statement. The first sentence was directed towards the organization and what we wanted to contribute to it. So firstly, we wanted that all of the participants would have an amazing experience, and we wanted that the conference would be in a surplus so that we wouldn't cause any financial issues to the NGO. The second goal was towards the team, and how we added it up was that we wanted our team to be like a family. We wanted to actually get along after the conference as well, and this demanded us to put more focus and effort into teamwork. The key to make the vision work is that all of the people in the team agree to this vision fully. How has it affected the team? We have been working with this vision for 3 months now, and I can see that all of the team members are focused on achieving and even overachieving the goals. In the team, I can also see that people are communicating with each other as much as possible, and everyone is really enjoying working together. This is the effect that the vision has had on the team so far. Now we have a vision. How do we make this vision happen? The process in general looks like this. First, you set the vision, then you look at the reality. You identify key strategies, you plan the activities, and add personal commitments. The project plan is the plan that tells you how to cover the gap between the current reality and your vision for the event. Start with coming up what you want to achieve in detail. What should the venue be like? What should the outcome of the content be? What kind of resources do you need? Then look at the current reality. What kind of people do you have in your team? What kind of finances you have? What kind of supporters your organization already has? And then look at the gap between the reality and the vision. How much money are you lacking? What kind of people do you still need to recruit? The project plan is a plan of activities of how to cover these gaps with resources. I'll give you an example. Let's say that your vision acquires a budget of 5,000 euros. Your organization can invest 1,500 euros, and you can cover 1,000 from participation fees. That leaves a 2,500 euro gap in your budget. How can you cover it? You have the option of applying to funds. You can ask companies for sponsorships. You could create fundraisers, gather donations, or sell event merchandise. From these options, you can pick your key strategy. For us, it was funds. Based on the strategy, you need to plan activities. You plan the activities, and the outcome is a project plan. Project plans are planned backwards. It is called backwards planning, and this is how the principle goes. First of all, you look at the last deadline. Let's say in this case the fund application deadline is the 1st of March. Then you start taking steps back from the goal. In order to submit the application by the deadline of 1st of March, you need to make sure that the application gets signed by a board member of the NGO. In this example, that time to have the application signed and ready is the 24th of February. This leaves 1 week of buffer time just in case something goes wrong before the deadline. The final draft should then be ready by the 23rd so that you have 1 day to sign it. Before that, you should gather feedback, and before that, you should have the first draft. So the point of backwards planning is to start from the final deadline so that you can make sure that you have time to go through all of the processes and activities in time. The project plan is one of the most important tools in organizing. Many people see it as a complicated and unnecessary process, but that is not true. Planning is essential for success. We are not planning to have a plan. The main purpose of planning itself is to organize your thought process and see exactly what activities need to be done in order to achieve your goal. As Eisenhower said, plans are nothing and planning is everything. Let's recap on the process of making your vision happen. So first of all, you set a vision. In our example, it was the fact that you needed 5,000 euros to make the event happen. The reality was that you had 2,500 euros planned for the budget, which meant that you were lacking the same amount. Then we looked at different options. Applying to funds, finding sponsorships, selling merchandising, and we chose that we are going to apply to funds. Then we planned the activities on a timeline, and lastly, you need to add a person who is responsible for each of the activities. So you know who in the team is responsible for making the budget, who is responsible for writing the content of the application, who is responsible for signing and sending the application. The most common project scheduling tool is the Gantt chart, which is a bar chart that illustrates the start and finish dates of different activities in the project. As you can see on the picture, for example, the first row is putting together a questionnaire, and the activity starts on the 21st of February and ends on the 25th. So on each row is an activity and the time when it will happen. And in your Gantt chart, it should also have the person who is responsible of delivering this action. Modern Gantt charts, especially in free software, also show the dependency relationships between activities so that you can manage your team's cooperation more efficiently. You can make a Gantt chart in Excel, like on this picture. It has been done, or you can use specific software. So you can Google software Gantt charts, or you can also use an application in Google Drive to automatically generate your Gantt charts. The team leader is also responsible for other tools that are used in the team. So for managing tasks, you can use project management tools like Trello or Asana. Trello is good if you have a very simple and straightforward goal and not a lot of team members. Asana is more complicated and can manage also files and commentary. Project management software is where you can write down all the tasks and assign them to team members, set them deadlines, and then they can also upload files or add commentary to the same task. But do remember that project management software will help you track the members, but it will not substitute the project plan. It is still useful to at least outline the main processes with the most important deadlines to make sure that all the tasks added to the project management system are aligned with the end goal. The toolbox of the team leader contains a lot of things. For documentation storage, we recommend to use Google Drive or Dropbox. For quick communication, you can use your phone, Facebook, or WhatsApp. For virtual meetings, you can use Skype or Google Hangouts. For scheduling meetings, you can use the Google Calendar or Doodle. You have so many tools to choose from. So what you need to do is identify the needs of the team. For example, do you need online meetings or not? If yes, then pick a platform. In our case, we used Google Hangouts because we have group meetings more often than individual meetings, and Hangouts provides more opportunities for that. If this is agreed upon, everyone knows where online meetings take place and how to use that platform. This applied to every tool. So for every purpose, there was a tool and everyone knew exactly what to use in which scenario. We did not have several tools for the same function. We decided where to store our documents, and we used that same system throughout the whole organizing process. This way, the scissors are always in the same drawer and everyone in the family knows where to find them when they need them. So to conclude our training, here are the main learning points. Make sure that your team has a common vision and a goal. Agree on team rules and communication rules and make sure that you follow them. Plan and always plan backwards. And most importantly, have fun.